And I'll pass on over back to my hosts, Abhishek and Krishna. Go for it. Let's get this going. The first 5. All right. Let's get going. Here you go.
Hey Jaipur. Cool things are over, but cooler things are on the way. I would like request first 10 participants up to number 30. Please report to the backstage. And we have our first speaker here. His name is Satvik Pare, and his subject of the talk is very interesting. The subject is Kamal ka deployment. So get ready for it.
Okay. Hi. Very good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Satvik. We have been discussing about development for like last full day. Today, first half. Right now, we are discussing development. Now, let's discuss a bit about deployment. My topic is a bit different. Will that work? Kamal ka deployment. Deploying the Kamal way. Simple, swift, solid. What do we mean by the term Kamal? Kamal was an Asian tool used by the Arab sailors to decide the latitude, longitude in a vast ocean. But why? Why do we discussing this in a technical conference? This minimal equipment and great precision. Kamal had two characteristics. The first one, with very minimal equipment, we used to get great precision. The same thing has been adopted by the community of Kamal, the one which we are discussing today. Kamal. So as I discussed, the technical one, Kamal is an open source deployment tool, which is a platform independent or a technology independent tool. We can use literally Kamal in any of our technology, whether it is Rails, whether it is Go, or name it, you just name it. Okay, another thing, Kamal has been crafted by 37 signals. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Kamal comes from the same family of Ruby on Rails. This is how Kamal works. Kamal starts from using your Dockerized Rails application. It will push your Dockerized application to the registry. Registry can be a Docker hub, or it can be any of your registry. Once it is on the registry, it will SSH to your server. While SSHing, it will pull up the container which you have pushed. It will make sure that the container is running, and all this with a single command. So from getting your application to the registry to getting your server running, all this with just a single command. So in simple words, command will pick up your local container or application and deploy it on a server. In more simpler words, सड़क से उठा के स्टार बना दूंगा. Just for non-Hindi audience, what this means, it will make it a rising star. Your application a rising star just from picking up it from the street. Features of Kamal, zero downtime. What do I mean by zero time? Kamal does not stop your application entirely while getting a new release. It will make sure your new release is working on your server. Then only it will transfer the request from the old one to the new application. Another is easy rollback. You can easily roll back to any previous build you have been deployed. So for example, an intern pushed the code by mistake. You don't need to shout him. You can just roll back with a single command. I have been there. Final takeaways. So let's skip the traditional way of deploying and embrace the beauty of Kamal. Why don't we actually give it a try while we are having our application Dockerized? Why actually don't we give it a try and see, yep, we do have things which can be actually proud of. Yep. I think we are done. Yep. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for listening. Thank you.
Thank you, Satvik. Our next speaker is Ritikesh from Freshworks, and his topic is disaster ready with memoirs until. Ritikesh, over to you.
Hello everyone, I'm Ritikesh, I'm from Freshworks. Let's get started. talking about disaster ready with Memoirs Until. So a little bit about Freshworks first. Freshworks, thank you. So Freshworks provides enterprise-grade software that helps customers manage their customers and employees. So yeah, the core part of our business revolves around tickets. If you have a problem with a travel booking, you kind of send an email to the like help at goibibo.com or something like that, right? So that ends up creating a ticket in Freshdesk. Or if, say, your laptop is not working, you send out an email to your internal help desk, and that ends up creating creating a ticket. Uh, so with a lot of these tickets, usually we deal with a lot of attachments, right? So every ticket comes with some sort of a screen recording or a screenshot, and like any other SaaS product out there, we use AWS S3 for managing these files. And traditionally, you would access it using the S3 URL with the bucket name and the path to the file, and the headers for expiry and signature, etc. So what could go wrong? One fine day, Google Chrome decides to, mark our, the site itself as dangerous or deceptive, like it's as if the site is trying to phish its end users. This kind of brought down our entire application because when you're loading the dashboard, for example, we download the profile images of our end users and stuff like that. So the moment the page was trying to paint its first picture, it was trying to download an S3 URL, and Chrome was blocking that URL. Any guesses on why Chrome would block certain domains or URLs as suspicious? Any wild guesses on why this could have happened? Sorry? No, it was not the certificate this time at least. Okay, in the interest of time, the reason was because our S3 bucket name had a domain syntax, right? So we were using something like cdn.freshworks.com. So Chrome thought that we were trying to redirect users to another domain and started flagging it. So as an immediate first response, what we did was we routed all our S3 URLs via CloudFront. So basically, you generate a private endpoint at a tenant level and use that to redirect customers eventually to S3 to download the file. So this worked, but the problem was that there's a cost associated with it, right? CDN is not cheap. So what we ended up doing was we built a layer in between, sort of like a switch. So the block that you see below, right? If things are normal, so the reason we had to do this was we wanted to be future ready before we can do like this whole petabyte migration of the S3 objects. So until then, if Chrome were to block it again, we would end up with our customers not being able to use the product itself. So we introduced a small check behind Memoirs Until library, which would decide whether the request should flow via S3 or CDN. And Memoirs Until is basically a memoization pattern that can help you store in-memory configurations for a fixed intervals rather than the traditional expiration model. So you can basically say refresh my configuration from Redis or database every minute, every hour, every day, etc. Yeah, I'll just go. So the library is open source. Please go check it out and let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Ritikesh. Our next speaker is Akshay Parekh from Pattern, and his topic is Ruby's immutable feature. Akshay.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Akshay Parekh. I'm a senior software engineer at Pattern. Today, I'm going to talk about Ruby's immutability, where it started from, where it is currently, and where it's going towards. So why immutability? As we all know, immutability is like once an object is created, it cannot be changed. There are other performance benefits as well. So once we have immutability, we have less objects created, which leads to better performance in terms of garbage collections. So we all have seen this magic comment, frozen string literal, but very few of us know what it does behind the scenes. So basically, this comment on the top of every file freezes your string literals behind the scenes. And there is another thing, subtle benefit in the performance as well, which it gives. I'll show it in the next slide. So if you see on the left slide, we have a constant which can be mutated. So if you see, I'm able to append the word string to my constant and it allowed me. But if we have that frozen string literal comment at the top of our files, it won't be allowed. It will throw a frozen error. But apart from that, it also gives us another subtle difference. If you see on the right terminal, whenever I instantiate hello, there are two object IDs, different object IDs for the same string. But if the strings are frozen, it uses the same one, meaning less garbage collection, less object allocation, and subtle performance improvements. The next is shareable constant value. So this is also a magic comment that is added on the top of our files. So basically, the frozen string literals freezes the string, but it does not handle deep nested constants or objects. For example, if I have a hash within a hash or a hash within an array, etc. So that is where shareable constant value comes into the picture. There is another benefit of shareable constant values, which is used in reactors. I'll just come into that in the implementation part. So this is a simple example. If you see the first example, shareable constant value is none. So I'm able to append my nested hash value. So if you see tax rate with in and standard is changeable. But once I have shareable constant value as literal, I'm not able to do that. So however deep or nested the structure is, it will still freeze it for me. Now, the important part of this shareable constant value comes into the reactor. So if you see on the left side, I'm using a reactor. I have two constants which are deeply nested. And if I try to use them within the reactors, it will throw an reactor isolation error, because in reactors you cannot have shareable or mutable objects being used. But on the right side, once I use a shareable constant value to true literal, then it works, because now both of my constants are frozen. Then another thing is data.define. These are native immutable value objects. These are added in Ruby 3.2. It creates lightweight classes with read-only objects, read-only frozen attributes, and ensures thread safety. So this is a sample code snippet where we are using data.define. Basically, data.define returns a class with frozeable attributes. And if you see now, if I try to change the attribute value, order.amount to 100, it just gives me an error. So think of it as a read-only struct. So this is another example where if I'm instantiating an object with same attribute values, then both of these objects will return true if they are compared. Now Ruby's direction, the immutable feature. So it started with everything being mutable, then we are moving towards immutability, but in a gradual manner. And there are talks that frozen string literals is going to be set to true by default. And that is being proposed to be done in 3 stages, R0, R1, and R2. R0 is the Ruby 3.4, which recently released, where if you try to mutate a string, it will throw an warning, only given the fact that you have that warning, deprecation warning config enabled. As part of R1, as part of R1, it will throw it by default, irrespective of the config, and as part of R2, the Ruby is eventually going to make the frozen string literals true by default, so you don't need the magic comments. Thank you, and feel free to connect on this LinkedIn ID. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Akshay. Please collect your swags after the talk. So we have swags for each and every Flash Talk speaker from our Flash Talk sponsor, TypeSense. Thank you, TypeSense, for that. And our next speaker is also an Akshay, also from Pattern, and his subject is Local First AI. Over to you, Akshay.
Hello, everyone. I'll start before my timer starts. So my name is Akshay Chopde. I work as a software engineer too at Pattern, and today I'll be talking about what local first AI is and everything around it. So here are the contents. We'll talk about what local AI is, why we need local AI, few tools, and then finally a quick demo for it. Now, first question, what is local AI? Basically, two definitions for this. First one is local first artificial intelligence is a distributed computational paradigm wherein model weights and workloads are carried out on end user devices leveraging on their processing units such as CPUs, GPUs, NPUs to ensure maximum non-availability on the cloud resources. And the second one is AI which simply runs on your local machine. I prefer the second definition more. Now that we know what local AI is, I'll be talking about why do we even need local AI. So first one is AI without the cloud. It runs directly on your device and it works offline. Second one is own your AI models. No third party will be deciding what answers you will be getting. You'll be in the full control of your AI model and there won't be any censorship. And the third one is my favorite one, which is basically privacy first AI. Now, one thing about local AI is all the information is processed locally. It does not leave your computer, so it makes sure that sensitive information is secure, which is important for industries such as healthcare, banking, and finance. I'm sure most of us are excited about AI and want to include it in our day-to-day work life, but not all of us can send our data to, Sam Altman, because we all know how nice billionaires are and how they would never use our private data to train their own models. So many of my friends work in IT and they are still not allowed to use AI due to privacy concerns. And this is exactly where local first AI can be used. Imagine you load up a high-end AI model on your office server and all your software engineers, your employees can send their data to it and it does not leave your office. It stays within your office and you can process all the data you want and no third party will be getting access to any of your sensitive information. So here are the tools such as OLAMA, LM Studio, GPT for all, and VLLM. I'll quickly show a demo for OLAMA, which I have set up. So you can go to olama.com and there are like list of, models which you can download. I'm going to simply start it by this. I have installed Llama 3 on my machine. It is trained on 3 billion tokens. So if I hit enter, yeah. So this has started a like ChatGPT like server in my own terminal. And the good thing about this is even if I disconnect from the internet, this thing will still continue to work. Like so it is still working because all your processing is happening in your own machine and it is using your CPUs and GPUs. So yeah, I hope some of you are curious about this and try it out. Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Akshay. Please collect your swags. So we have a DJ here. We have a coder who creates music from Ruby code. So introducing Shubham Bias from Josh.
So I'm glad that I have started my career with Ruby itself, and from since then I'm writing code in Ruby, breaking Ruby, and sometimes fixing by even breaking it even more. So today I'm going to talk about one of the most controversial power in Ruby, monkey patching. So I have a question for you all. Is monkey patching is an ultimate hero move or it's a villain waiting to destroy your app, right? So most of us have been monkey patching in the Ruby, right? So let me be honest. Why do we monkey patch, right? Is it just a deadline that you have to deliver your code today itself, or it's just a gem that you rely on has broke in the production? Or even it's a tiny change that you have made and you think about is what would be probably will go wrong, right? But here's something interesting. This tiny change that you have made can make you even hero or unleash the evil. And to all the Ruby developer who are familiar with the monkey patching, be like about अब भी ठीक करके देता हूँ, right? So here's the interesting part, my favorite thing. So as you can see, someone decided to fix the time zone issue of the class time itself and force the time zone to IST itself, right? But then, wait, suddenly the code breaks. Why? Because the scheduled jobs that we're facing has been misfired, the logs are chaos, and wait, what about the international users, right? And the monkey patching will be like, ये भी मेरी गलती है. No. But wait, it's not all time that monkey patching is evil. Here's the favorite part. So think about it's at 2 a.m. and suddenly you observe there is a flow of the logs and there is some anomaly you have detected. And you found there is a gem that has been broken itself in the prod. And by just fixing or writing this monkey patch, boom, you have been saving the night and for the production itself. So here the monkey patch will be like, भाई ने बोला करने का मतलब करने का, right? Then, so I have a question for you all. Is the monkey patching is a hero or a villain? The answer is it's both. It's about monkey patching is a nuclear power, so we know that with the great power, it comes a great responsibility. So handling the monkey patching and doing it's the responsibility of the developer to handle it carefully. Thank you guys, and here's my profile, so you can join and let's break the Ruby more itself. Thank you.
Thank you, Abhay. It has been a great journey from yesterday to today. We have learned many things, and as things are coming to grinding halt, I must say this is not the end. We are gonna build great products, great things in the next year, and let's meet next year this time. So thank you organizers, thank you all the volunteers, thank you all the attendees for attending RubyConf India 2025. Thank you, and keep coding, keep building great stuff. Thank you.
Mic test? Yeah. So hi everyone. So when we think of Ruby, we just think like it's web pages, frameworks like Rails. Is that it? No, right? So what if I told you we can create DJ and like live music through Ruby? It's exciting, right? So yeah, next slide. Unfortunately, the voice is not here. So yeah, introducing Sonic Pi. So it's an open source library uh, for live coding environment where we can code Ruby and create, instead of like creating output from web pages text, we can create live music. So yeah, that's it. So hi, hey there. I am Shubham Bias. I am working as software developer at Josh Software. So yeah, today I'll show you how we can connect Ruby with music. Yeah, next please. So let's get started with what is Sonic Pi. So basically, Sonic Pi is an open source environment where we can code our basic Ruby. Sonic Pi also provides some various functions, and it was initially used for teaching purpose, and then DJ artists use it for like music and all that. So yeah, next please. Abhishek, next slide. So it's pretty easy to connect with Sonic Pi with Ruby. So first, we need to install Sonic Pi in our website, and then we can use our Ruby basics, variables, loops, etc. and then some commands. Also, we can add some bass, music, kick, melody, and then combining all that, we will get a music melody song. So yeah, next slide. So let's hear the Sonic Pi in action. So yeah, this you heard the music. It's created by Ruby. So we have, like you can see, we have written simple loops and like just Ruby code. We have added some kick, bass, and melody. So yeah, we can also see the live music bass there. Yeah, next slide. So yeah, now if someone says Ruby is dead, just smile and tell them that Ruby is still alive and dancing on the floor. Yeah, that's it. Let's connect. Thank you.
All would have heard a lot of talk about performance. Yeah, thank you. You all would have heard a lot of talk about performance engineering, monitoring, and profiling. So I'm not going to bore you with that stuff. Instead, what I'm going to talk about today is how do you build a culture that has performance as a feature, right? So this is a guide to making performance everyone's responsibility. So my core belief is that performance isn't a nice to have or it's not the job of a lone expert. It is everyone's responsibility. So let's say we are saying it is everyone's responsibility. So let's start convincing the business stakeholders. Why should the business care about performance engineering as an investment, right? So recently Amazon did a study and they found out that for every 100 millisecond of delay that they had, they lost 1% of revenue. And for every 1 second delay, their conversion rate went down by 40%, and so on, right? Which means slow sites means low engagement and retention. So I'm sure you all have performance metrics like this, but the key here to convince business stakeholders is to convert those performance metrics into currency, into how much of a monetary impact that they would have to convince the business stakeholders. Okay, let's go on to the next one. Suppose we have already convinced your business stakeholders. Now you have to convince your engineering managers and the teams to care about performance engineering, right? How do you do that? So you go on to explain these benefits, right? Performance work usually uncovers a lot of design flaws very early on, and it identifies bugs before they reach production, which also means that there's less firefighting and emergency fixes. So the last point here is something that I really care about. It is improving developer productivity. Performance engineering doesn't usually mean scaling up service or fixing performance issues in production. It also means caring about the developer environment. If performance issues occur in your developer environment, it affects your developers' productivity. So that is also something you need to care about. Yeah, so what performance culture means as a whole, right? It is a shared mindset across design, front-end, back-end, product, and everything. Let's say your marketing team comes up with a script that you need to include in your index.html, which will put your budget over the limit, right? Your JavaScript bundle budget. Then you tell them this is an SLA that we will not cross, and this is something that we care about as a whole team, right? Yeah, performance is also a feature with acceptance criteria, just like how you have user stories with acceptance criteria, which means it is also should be thought from the start and not just as an afterthought. You also encourage all of your stakeholders to speak the same language. So you train them to know about P95 latency, average page load times, core web vitals, and all. You might think these are very technical terms, but you will be finding people who are willing to speak these technical terms to get things done. I'm sure you all have code coverage as a metric. Performance metrics could also be a metric that is spoken across your engineering division. Yeah, so next is the fun part. How do you empower everyone to, take up performance engineering? Usually it is like tabooed as stereotyped as a lone expert's job. But the key here is to enable everyone to do performance engineering and providing training, creating run books, and especially having performance debugging sessions so that everyone can join in to see the expert doing his stuff. Could encourage everyone to be a performance engineer. Yeah, so my call to action is very simple. Performance is not a heroic after the fact optimization. Creating a culture begins with a very small single team or even a simple person choosing to care. So be the person that cares. Thank you.
Thank you, Yuvraj.
Give it to Sneha.
So, in our life, we often ask ourselves, are we happy? Are we? Yes, no, yes. There's the guy. So, our next speaker is Sneha Mantri from Josh, and she is going to tell us about what lies beyond the happiness. Sneha.
Hello everyone. I'm Sneha Mantri, working in talent acquisition team at Josh Software. And yes, I'm from non-tech background, so I do not code, but I do debug people. And believe me, it's way harder than a Ruby code, because that gives you error. But people can leave you on scene, and I hope you understand whenever you back out any offer. Okay, so that's a pain of every recruiter, believe me. Uh, I really need your support here in this rhyme, so please, it would be really great if you all recite with me. Yeah. If you're happy and you know, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Thank you so much. Yes. So we always talk about the happy emotions. We brought up like that. Boys don't cry. Stop crying. You are not a crying baby. Why are you so angry? Control yourself. Anger is not your thing. Be happy. Happy is a good emotion. Keep smiling face always in front of others. And we fake it. Believe me, we fake it lots of times. And what we did with ourselves, we suppress our emotions, and that piled up, and believe me, that leaked out. That leaked out in the face of stress, in the face of depression. And nowadays, if you can see, there are lots of people, they are having different kind of disease, and they are taking help from different people. And it is really good to take help if you're facing any emotional breakdowns or anything, because in that way only you will recover with that. Yep. Yes. Oops. Yeah. So emotional intelligence is like not controlling our emotion. Emotional intelligence is accepting them. So anger is not anger gives us a signal that something unfair happens. Sadness shows that we care deeply about ourselves. And yes, jealousy, that reveals that, we are truly desire something. So every emotion is important for us. Please respect that. Even today, I was nervous when I was, there. And when you all clapped, my nervousness, that emotion just vanished like that. So please try to, manage your emotion. There'll be four pillars of emotional intelligence. That is self-awareness, self-management, a relationship management, and social awareness. These all pillars are very important. I'm not going to go deep down in that. It's a big topic, but I request you all to please, now, let's have a new kind of rhyme. And I want you all to please sing with me. If you're hurting and you know it, take your time. If you're hurting and you know it, if you're angry and you know it, breathe it out. If you're angry and you know it, breathe it out. Yes. If you're sad and you need to cry it out. If you're sad and you need, yes, thank you so much. My last lines. Happiness is not one note, but you are the whole song. So be happy, be sad, respect your emotion. Thank you so much. Sneha Mantri this side. Yes, keep happy.
Good afternoon. Hi, I am Rikesh from Cisco Meraki. you should be able to see my name in some time. But we are one of the other big code bases that work on Ruby on Rails a lot. We were a very small company which got acquired by Cisco. Now we are a kind of a big company where we work on a lot of networking devices. We make dashboards so that it's easier to onboard networking devices and other things. Please feel free to talk to me about anything about Cisco Meraki in the future. But now I am just talking about playing board games. If you have played board games, anybody please raise your hands. Have you played board games before? Okay, awesome. You learned a bunch of new rules, applied it to your game, and then had to execute on the spot on different things, right? That's just like programming. You are trying to build or take in new product information, trying to build for it, finding problems, finding solutions. That is your game. But how slowly does it happen when you are developing? But when you're playing board games, you have to do it on the spot. You have to be quicker. Your strategy has to be better. So board games will really help you out in the future. There is a very good board gaming scene in Jaipur, Pune, Bangalore. I would love for you to join me to play board games in Bangalore. I am there most Saturdays and Thursdays. So, but still going forward, there is a lot of adaptability that you can get by learning new rules. Every time there's a new challenge. Every time you have to build up to a particular thing, find new strategies. And as a normal developer or even somebody who's a manager or a CEO, you still have to make certain decisions, and board gamings will help you do more, take more decisions and take more decisions better. Thank you. You can find me on LinkedIn. That is a QR code if you want to scan. And thank you for the time, guys. Goodbye.
Thank you, Prakash.
Krishnan. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. I know it's a boring afternoon, but I got a question. Okay. I got a question near the booth asking me for appraisals. I just hope the AI will not ask me for appraisal in the future. Just hoping for that. Okay. So what is the topic all about? Do you guys know about the bamboo shoots or bamboo tree, right? So how long approximately it takes to grow? Any idea? Okay, we don't have much time. So roughly, I'll just give you a background of it. 4 to 5 years, it takes a lot of time to take and nurture itself well so that it can grow up to 90 feet, 60 to 90. Okay? That's how the importance we have to give for the training, the learning, the entire process to ensure that we build good AI built-ins, whatever we are planning to give, right? Now, I have come up with a simple agenda or a simple memorable tool that you can use it in whatever in your day-to-day task. So what are those? So basically, sorry, my bad. So basically you need to invest yourself in a process, continuous learning, and most of the time what happens, we need to be relevant. So we don't get to be relevant we are just so into solutions, driving solutions, we don't focus on what is required in the process. So it's always important to focus on the process and how to do it. That is what we all saw in today's conference, most of the topics. So let's get back to the topics and understand, and we should not, I think we should make a lot of mistakes to know that we get better at it, right? So basically, fear of failure. We are always thinking about it's bad. We always, the moment we hear, it's a red flags in today's terms. But it's not a red flag. That is how you need to sit on it. So if you sit on it on any of the topics for 90 minutes, I got to know you get to arrive at a solution. Maybe you should give it a try in whatever you're facing problems in today's world. Non-tech is no longer separate, it coexists with tech. I totally agree, because for HR like me, it was not an easy task, and also for the non-tech folks, it's not easy to adapt anything, right? So hesitant to understand, hesitant to go and try things. So what we are doing at Josh is basically we ask every of the team members to join and come up with the problem statements so that we can arrive at the solutions. That is what we are bringing and trying to build a workflows around it and build some solutions around it so that it is not time consuming, it helps in the time management better and the better results and better outcomes out of it. At Josh, we don't just build tech, we embrace. Why did I mention it? Because it's not only for technical folks, we promote the learning. It's also the non-technical folks, which is very important because the moment you have an issue, you are going back to the non-tech folks. And if you don't know what is they're doing and whether they're, are they aware of the technical things which is happening in the organization, no, that I think it's very important to be relevant to the current trend. So that is what we are doing at Josh. And we are building better at each time. So far we have built a couple of dashboards for HR function itself, like attrition rates, employee happiness index, R&R, and performance management, mentoring. So mentoring, we focus not only on building learning paths, just like randomly throwing some random topics with you. We just curate according to the requirement of an individual, customizing based on what is the problem areas, not just going and throwing a lot of theories to the people, right? So that is not the traditional method. I think we just have to keep it as a base and go forward with the topics. For feedback forms, I think it's very tedious for people who get into the trainings. After that, you'll be asked for the feedback forms and you'll be like, okay, what is happening? You know, this is not I signed up for. So it's very important that we change the monotonous work of going back and forth easily and not bombarding with a lot of mails. Please, final reminder, 1, 2, 3 from an HR or going to verbally and talking to the person. Instead, we have built a workflows which will really help to ease the process for an HR as well as for people so that they can fill it on time. Thank you so much. I just leave you with the thought that it's always important that you have to understand that it's human ultimately. So I'll give you a thought behind this and thank you so much.
Thank you, Sindhu. I think I'm getting fat day by day, and so are my models. And our next speaker is going to tell something about fatty models. So introducing Sonal, she is going to tell us about fat models to DDD. Sonal, over to you.
Thank you. Everyone. I'll be here. So hi everyone. Today I am here to discuss a problem that almost every Ruby developer is facing right now. So imagine a situation when you are in a library, you are looking for a book to read, but that book that you took was having information that was extraordinary. Along with the book contents, it also had the sequence of the pages, the author details, author personal details, also the shelf ID in which the book was present, also the information related to the other libraries in which that book can be found. Don't you think this information is very clever but overwhelming, because the aim was just to read the book content, not the other informations. But this is the reality we all Ruby developers are facing, and that code is, this is the situation of our code that we are already having in our production. So hi everyone, my name is Sonal Sachdev. I am working as Ruby on Rails developer with Josh Software, and today I am here to discuss a common problem, fat models, and how we can how we can chunk that down via DDD approach. So on the screen, you can see this is the image from one of my project in which we are having a model model class, which is having 50 plus associations, some validations, some core logic, some business logic, some SQL queries that we use, the core queries we use for our model. So this model, when we started with the product, it was like overwhelming with just one file having all the business logic, persistence logic, queries, everything. We are just centric towards this file. But as the project got scalable, the lines of code got too much. Like this file currently is the monster having 1000 plus lines code. And to be honest, this is very difficult to debug and test. So I was just looking for another approach in which I can chunk this model, or also known as this God file, into smaller pieces. And then I got to know about the DDD approach, domain-driven approach. So nowadays, our applications revolve around the code bases. The business logic revolves around the code bases, but it should not be the case. The case should be the the code base should revolve around the domain. So let's flip the picture. Now, think about the situation where we are chunking down the data, where we are having the application layer differently and we are having infrastructure layer differently. Now, we are having the domain is our domain or the business logic as the source of truth, and the data structure, or we can say the database design architecture revolving around our domain. This approach is known as a domain-driven approach. Many of us might have experienced it. So this is the architecture and how we can use it with Rails ROM, Ruby, that is ROM, Ruby Object Mapper. What this Ruby Object Mapper is a simple library that allows you to follow DDD approach for your code base. Now what it does is, it chunks down your model into 3 layers. First is relations, another one is mappers, and third one is, I guess, yeah, the services. Relations holds the relation. In simple terms, we can say that it's kind of scope that consists the queries that can be reusable, while the another one is mappers that would take the row and convert into the Ruby objects, while the services allows us to coordinate between the repository, meaning the business layer, and the database extraction part. So okay. I'll quickly summarize. This is my structure currently when I chunk down with ROM approach. But ROM also comes with lots of limitations. I'll just quickly run with my PPT pads. So ROM comes with lots of demerits as well, but merits as well. I am new to this approach where I am facing this issue, but I am not really sure about how to go ahead. As I told you, I am facing many issues. So anyone here who has already worked with DDD approach, let's connect after this talk. I can also get my doubts cleared, as well as I can have the clear picture between how we can eliminate the active records and use the DDD approach. Thank you.
Thank you, Sonal. Our next speaker is Atmaram Naik from SEDIN, and his topic is Rails migration on SEDStart guards. Atmaram.
Hello everyone, my name is Atmaram Naik, and today I am going to talk about a totally different topic. It's about testing. We are in a developer conference. I am a tester from testing background myself, and I'm going to talk about a testing tool which can help you to do your Rails migration faster. SEDStart. Rails migration on a SEDStart guards. I'm working at SEDIN Technologies. I am the lead developer and SME of this tool. I am also available on Twitter and LinkedIn. How many of you have done Rails migrations? Raise your hands. How do you do it? From 5 to 8 directly? You do it step by step, right? So, and what you face typically? You upgrade Ruby, something breaks. You upgrade Rails, something breaks. You upgrade certain chain, something breaks. So Rails migrations in their nature are regressive. Something is going to break if you put something from one version up. And they have their own challenges. Like migration needs to be done in a specific time window. Most of the projects that I have seen for Rails migration, they generally have 2-3 months time. And there are no end-to-end test coverages mostly because these are legacy systems. And building test coverage for just 2-3 months project is going to be another headache for you, right? And possibility of breaking something is too high. This is how you do, right? You upgrade from one version to other, you check, you upgrade to other version, you check, you upgrade to other version, you again check. But if you test at the end of all the migrations, the risk of breaking everything is also too high. Now we'll see the demo. Yeah, so I'm going to talk about this tool, setStart. I'm going to quickly record a test of login. I'll name it login 1. Now my test is over here created. I'm going to just record a test or a sample application. I'm going to log in with some credentials. And you can see it is recording the test. It has done recording. The login scenario is totally recorded. I'm going to run the test. Yeah. So by the time my internet responded test was already run, you can see the video. What it did, whatever we recorded, it just simply checked those things. So you can quickly build your automation for testing end-to-end things using setStart. And that's the USP of this tool. It can also support Rails migrations, which were harder previously because the time window for automation is typically less. So that was my talk. If you like to know more about this tool, you can get hold of me. I work at Sedin Technologies. I am lead and SME behind this tool. Thank you.
Thank you, Atmaram. Our next speaker is Zakir S. from Coupa, and his topic is challenges with containerizing a monolith Ruby application.
Okay, hello. My name is Zakir Sheikh. I'm a lead software engineer in Coupa. I'm leading Coupa's containerization journey for enterprise application. Let's see like motivation behind the containerization. So first and foremost important stuff was optimizing an infra spend. Like with the traditional model, we require to host each customer instances on EC2 based system using a Fusion application server where we require to keep the dedicated capacity for each customer. Even if that customer instance is not being that heavily used, we require to spend for that infra. That was the main reason. And another one is like for Coupa, like customer base is for Coupa is continuously increasing. We are adding more and more logos every quarter. So that is the reason we required a platform which will support this growing need of customer bases for Coupa. These are some motivation for that. Okay. So I want to share some of the challenges and learning with you. Like with this journey, we face some of the challenges and some learnings we discovered from this. If you see this diagram, so here you can see uh, whenever like customer tries to access any customer instance, their traffic comes to API gateway. In API gateway, we have two main component. First one is virtual service, and second is Kubernetes upstream. So for each customer instance, the virtual service defines like this is virtual service for that particular customer, and whenever traffics come to Coupa's API gateway, we identified that traffic is for this particular virtual service, and with each virtual service, there is a upstream defines, like where exactly traffic needs to drive it. Okay, now with this approach, you see like whenever the traffic will come to Kubernetes upstream, it will transfer that traffic to kube proxy, and the way like kube proxy works is like it will transfer that request to available pod in the round robin fashion. So initially, if you see like there are two healthy pods available, and just think of like there is a peak of customer traffic. So whenever like there is a peak of customer traffic, Kubernetes will identify only these pods are available, and our application is running inside that pod. They are having their own queue. So the problem with this is like whenever the peak of traffic will be there, all the customer requested will land to this available pod. And problem with this is like whenever the new pod will scale up, it will take their own time to become healthy. And by that time, all the requests will land to these existing pods. And okay, and by the time the new pod will arrive, the existing approach of that particular queue proxy will move the request in the round robin fashion only, and it will keep sending the request to the available pods. So we have applied a couple of the optimization. We rewritten Coupa's single tenant code base. We have introduced a multi-tenancy so that single pool of pods which can serve to multiple customers, and we have changed certain algorithms that is coming with the API gateway so that it will identify which pod is having least HTTP connection so that traffic can move to that particular pod instead of the existing round robin based fashion. Okay. These are the few again learnings like protecting database in the containerization world. Like you need to make sure the traffic is not impacting the database load, because the scaling can happen based on the events. Like if the peak of the traffic happened, your database can go down. We have introduced a predictive scaling where based on the database load, we can control the customer's rate limit, plus we have implemented a deployment level rate limit. That way we can handle this particular situation. Okay, so I'll just quickly summarize. Okay, so few of the stuff is like whenever like due to any scaling event, your pod is restarting, there could be a scenario like in that pod, existing customer traffics are already there. So we have handled this by applying a grace period, applying a pre-stop script, by making sure there should not be any impact on the customer traffic. Okay, and the only last point, so with the existing well-tested approach, we can't move directly from the older flow to the newer flow. We need to make sure like your migration from the existing tested workflow to the newer workflow, it should be without downtime. So we made sure like there is no customer downtime, and we are migrating customer from on this new workflow. Okay, thank you all.
Thank you, Zakir. Our next speaker is Ashok Sharma from Coupa, and he's going to tell us about scaling challenges in file-based migrations.
Hello. Hello guys, I am Ashok Sharma. I am in Coupa Software since last 4 years. I have around 20 plus years of experience in software industry. Before Coupa, I worked with many large organizations like IBM. IBM ISL, in Capgemini. I'm in Coupa from last 4 years. I'm in Coupa and working. I started with lead software engineer. Then I'm currently working as a engineering manager. In Coupa, I found this is a company where you can grow a lot if you are innovator, if you want to innovate something, if you want to take challenges and implement it. Coupa is the best company. Currently people are talking about MCP. People are like learning, world is learning about MCP and trying to see how we can solve different problems. But Coupa has deployed so many MCP servers already, and we have made our developers' life very easy using MCP servers. World is learning about how we'll kind of create new agents, make our customer life easy by giving them agentic experience. Coupa has Navi, like one of my colleagues talked about Navi yesterday. So we have Navi, which gives our customer one agentic experience. We have so many agents which gets used behind the Navi, and customer can use those agents to make their use cases easy and get help. But I'm not talking about AI in this flash talk. I'm just talking about one very basic use case where every mid-scale or large-scale company face, like file-based integrations performance. In file-based integration performance, every company has file-based integrations, but if the scale is small, then it's okay. When we increase the scale, when the scale is like 100,000 plus records, it becomes difficult. We have a few customers who have 150 plus records, and when we export their file, it takes around 10 hours to, it used to take around 10 hours to get a file created. So we implemented many, we took many kind of approaches to improve this. Like one approach was doing the problematic area, like the formatting the file that used to take maximum amount of time. We implemented chunking around that, and because of that chunking, we decreased the time from like 8 hours to 2 hours. I'll not talk about every point here. And then the second thing we implemented, we actually use paperclip to upload a file into cloud storage. Paperclip by default uses MD5, Ruby MD5 hashing algorithm, which changed it to OpenSSL 256 algorithm, and because of that, the cloud upload time reduced a lot. And yeah, these were two major enhancements I wanted to talk. Yeah, that's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ashok. AI agents, the next buzzword. But maybe we don't know how to build AI agents. So our next speaker is going to tell us exactly about that. Shubham Kumar, our next speaker, is going to tell us about building AI agents the Rails way. Shubham.
Hello guys. It's good? Yeah. So hello guys, as you might know that Gautam mentioned that Flash Talk is the chance for limelight, and I have been chasing limelight in my entire life. So here I am. So yeah, myself, I am Shubham Kumar, working in Joe Software as a Ruby on Rails developer since 3 years. So today I'm going to talk about how can we build AI agents with the help of Rails. Here? Yeah. So what exactly is active agent? So active agent is a kind of gem which helps us to integrate AI agents in Rails. Like active agent, first of all, is an open source framework, and it's not so complex. It's just like active record. In active record, we communicate with database, and in active agent, we communicate with models. And the main part is that the whole thing is in Rails, so we don't have to look and think so much while integrating it. So yeah, moving on that why should we need agentic AI in Rails? We can also do such things in Python. But my question is that why not? If Rails is providing something that we can integrate and provide support, so why shouldn't we go move ahead in Rails itself? As we can also say that Rails is a language which provides convention over configuration, and we like faster developments as well. So we can also say that Rails has its own superpowers. So yeah, moving ahead, how does it work? First of all, we have to define an agent. It's as simple as defining a class, and then we have to define some methods for different types of actions. Like whatever we are making an agent to do a particular task. And afterwards, it's just LLM and the smartness for the output. Yeah, and coming upon installation. Installation is as simple as installing another gem. Like we have to just write the gem's name, active agent, and we have to just install that gem, and using Rails generator, we can just install all the required dependencies for active gems. So yeah, it's a single line for installation. In just 30 seconds, our Rails app will be AI configured. I will show you some samples of agents which I have explored. Like first of all, we can see data extraction agent. So data extraction, what does it do? We just have to provide different types of files like image, documents or PDFs, and the agent does it works. It automatically extracts the required data from it smoothly just in few seconds. Moving upon second agent, which is translation agent. Like we must think that our Rails app can also speak different languages. So yeah, translation agent is made for it. Like we just have to define the particular language and we can provide input in any language we like. So it just provides the output in the desired language provided in the local parameter. So yeah, and moving ahead, the intelligent tool. Intelligent tool, in this I have used a support agent, but you can use another agents as well. Agents are more than like chatbots as well. Like they can also perform actions upon their own. Like it's just like assigning a task to an intern and giving them some instructions. And upon some action, it will automatically perform the required use case. Yeah, so this is it from my side. If you have any questions or if you want to talk about Active Agent in Rails, do connect with me. I am here. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you, Shubham. A humble request to any speaker remaining for Flash Talk, please report to backstage. I like writing test cases. Have anyone heard saying that? Any developer who likes to write test cases? I do. But I recently heard that developers do not write test cases because they want to find vulnerabilities in the system. They write because they have to. But how we can write effective test cases? Our next speaker is going to tell us about that. Introducing Ashia. Her topic is writing resilient test cases with RSpec. Ashia.
Hello everyone, I am Ashia Azre and I work at Josh, and today I'm going to share my learnings on resilient testing with RSpec. So imagine a situation where all the test cases are green, all the test cases are passing, and yet the production is red. So what could be the issue? Or our suit is passing and everything had looked safe and yet the production broke. That may have been because of the test cases have followed a very happy path. Yes. So most test cases are always about services always respond and data is valid and time is simple. But the reality is not simple. The reality is messy. And production is messy, where APIs may fail, timeouts happen, and data breaks in most unexpected ways. So now what we can do to make our tests more resilient is not to write more tests, but write smarter tests. And I will show you 3 patterns or tips that we can follow to make our test cases more resilient to avoid a messier production. So the first is to simulate failures correctly. It may happen that in production, APIs give a 500 error or may not respond accurately. So what we can do to avoid that is to simulate not just the expected outputs, but simulate the errors as well, to be more prepared beforehand. The next is handling bad data. So in production, it is possible that the response that we get is not always in an expected format. Like a number may come in a text format that will cause our method to break and our APIs to fail. So it is as important to handle bad data in unexpected formats, and we should also prepare our test cases to return nil data or data in an invalid format. The next is testing time. So I think that most of us who have always written test cases in our spec have used time.now to simulate it, but have we ever thought about how our APIs may react in future, like if the tokens fail or if tokens need renewal, or what happens in other time zones? We should also consider future, present, and past, all 3 while writing the test cases. And for that, we can use time.freeze, or we can simulate passing days or months as well. Because if we don't control time, then time will control us in production. Yes. So in last, there are a few guiding principles to make our tests more effective, keeping tests fast. So what fast means is, test cases shouldn't run the database again and again, and our suits should run quickly. The next is name them clearly, and testing behavior and not the internals. And we should start small, and we can pave the way for bigger features next. Yes, so it is important to consider the real world when we are writing test cases, and because the real world isn't green, real world is messier, and resilient testing helps us prepare for that messier world. Thank you.
Thank you, Ashia. I am dead. My DB queries are killing me. I heard this from someone else this day. And how can I be saved from this nightmare? Our next speaker, Aman Pathan, is going to tell us about killing n+1 queries before they kill you. Aman.
Thank you, Krishnan. So, have you ever wondered why your Rails app works in development and it crawls like a snail in production? What exactly is going behind the scenes when you deploy your app? So, today in this talk, let us uncover what's happening behind the scenes and see how we can tackle the difficulty. So before that, let me introduce myself. My name is Aman Pathan, and I work at Josh Software as a software engineer. And I joined Josh Software as an intern. So during the internship, I was facing some issues while developing the project. And from that experience, today I am presenting the talk. So the reason your app crawls like a snail in production is the n+1 queries. And first of all, what is n+1 query? So to explain n+1 query, let me quickly explain this example. So here, first of all, I am fetching the data of all the users. And then to get the count of posts for individual user, we are looping on the users. And so, for example, if there are 100 users, then there will be 100 queries which will get executed in the database. So that's how there are 100 plus one query to fetch all the users. So this is the n plus one query. So imagine there are thousands of users. So your app will slow down. So instead of that, we can use includes in Rails, which fetches all the data in one query only. So, but while developing, some developers might forget to optimize their code. So, to reduce the n plus one queries, we can use a gem. But why we should reduce n plus one queries? To make our apps run faster, and if there are n plus one queries, it will execute multiple queries in database, and the cost will increase. And also, if your app slows down, it will annoy users and your customers. So the solution is bullet gem. So bullet is a gem in Ruby which can detect n plus one queries and warn you while you are developing the app. So it also detects unused eager loading, and you can happily remove the eager loading and the n plus one queries while developing the app. So let me quickly explain how can we set up the bullet gem. First, we need to add the gem in gem file, and then enable the gem in the development.rb file. We can set up it in few seconds, and you are good to go. So the benefits of bullet gem are we get a faster Rails app, and it gets easier for a developer to build the app and deliver a faster Rails app. And also we get happier users, and if users are happy, developers are also happy. So that's about n plus one queries. Thank you everyone for giving the opportunity and listening to my talk. And you can connect with me on LinkedIn, and we can talk about Ruby and Rails. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. Hi everyone. I am Sakshi Farande from Joe Software. Today I want to talk about the magic that we all wish to be exist in a real. That is Control plus Z for our database. It's not working. Imagine it's 2 a.m. and production is down. Someone just deleted customer table. Lots of chaos, panic, and that moment that we all had faced. So what if we have a solution for it? So that's it, the paper trail gem. In Ruby, there is a gem known as a paper trail. Next slide. There is a gem, paper trail, which acts like a time machine for our database. You can think it like Git, but for our database. It can capture our every moment like update, create, and delete. And it also checks what changed, when did it change, and who changed it. Next slide. And guess what? Setup is a very simple. Just add has paper trail on your model, and boom, the setup is done, and version table is created, and behind the scenes it's capture everything that you done. Next slide. This is a versioning demo. You can see there, I just changed the product price and just check the last event. So it gives me the update event, and when I check object what changes, so we get a whole thing there. Next slide. Next slide. And here, it's my favorite part, who done it. So, paper trail actually gives us the which user messed up with your data. So, we have to we just have one query there, and you get a user ID for that to find the particular user who messed up with your data. So instead of pointing fingers in dark, we actually get the user that messed up with our data. Next slide. And here is the magic, Control Z for our database. So there is a method known as a refi, which gets us older version back to the life. There is two methods like undo update and the undo delete, which can be used to get back our old data. Next. And what about the associations? Yes, it also tracks the association, but not with a paper trail gem. We require another gem known as an active snapshot, which captures the entire state of an object and its association in that object. Next slide. And here are the practical use cases, like when we have to use that particular gem. So when we require to audit logs or undo rollbacks, and also for the deletions and restore, we can use that gem. Next slide. Okay guys, let's be real. Paper trail isn't a perfect. So sometimes version table can blot as faster than your production logs. Sometimes writes get slower, and it get difficult to capture associated data. Next slide. So luckily we have the alternatives, the audited gem, log dice, and chrono model. Next slide. And here are the key takeaways. Key takeaways are like paper trail have a simple setup using has paper trail. Also we have a refi method, and we can track associations also, but we just have to remember the limitations. So next slide. I can't undo your mistakes, but I can promise you memes and the rails related tips on my social accounts. So let's get connect. Thank you.
Thank you, Sakshi. Our next speaker is going to tell us about divide and rule, not the historical one, but the programmatic one. Introducing Bhushan Nagpure, and his topic is divide and rule using job iterations. Bhushan.
Hi everyone. I'm Ruby developer, and most of you are also Ruby developer. So as a Ruby developer, we work on the background jobs, and worst part about that, they fails. And when they fails, developer cry at corner. So we have to find the solution for that, and we have two solutions. So hi again, I am Bhushan Nagpure from Joe Software. As a software engineer, I am working there, and I am here to talk about the job iteration to solve this problem. So the problem we are facing while performing the background jobs, the background jobs do their jobs at the fullest, or they, as they fail, they do nothing. Like it reverses all the steps. Let's suppose we have the job of 10 hours and it fails at 9 hours and 59 minutes. It reverts all their performance, all their proceedings, and we have to restart that job. So all the data that we processed in that background job, we have to process that again. That leads to time losses, and as well as the computing losses. So we have to find the solution for that. So solution will be, the solution is first one in the Ruby, that active job continuation, and second one is job iteration. Job iteration is the gem that I am going to explain here. It's developed by the Shopify, and that used for the job continuation. So basically, it works as when the job fails, it pauses that job and then it resume from that point. Here is the simple normal code for the job iteration, where I include the job iteration over here in this job, and then there are two methods. First one is the enumeration, illuminator, and second is each iterator. So first method divides all the users into multiple chunks, and then second method perform the job with that, for that chunk of users. So when any chunk fails, it restart that chunk only. It didn't restart whole the job. So that's how the job iteration works. So as this didn't restart whole job, it reduced the cost because we are saving the time as well as the computation. Then, as we are not failing the jobs, we are just pausing it and then resuming it. It resilient jobs. It converts the jobs into resilient jobs. It is better for the scaling because we are not failing the jobs. Same for that. So final takeaway will be, it breaks down the main monolithic job into the small chunks of the job, perform it, and then do the full job iteration. Then, if job is not failing, we don't have to restart it, and that's how it works. We can try it out as we don't have to restart the job. Sorry. Thank you. We can connect at my LinkedIn, Bhushan-code.
Thank you, Bhushan. I am using some gem extensively in my tech stack, but I want certain functionality to be happening in my way. How do I do it? Monkey patching. And our next speaker is going to tell us about that. Introducing Abhay Shankar, he's going to tell us about the monkey patching. Thank you.
So I'm glad that I have started my career with Ruby itself, and since then I'm writing code in Ruby, breaking Ruby, and sometimes fixing by even breaking it even more. So today I'm going to talk about one of the most controversial power in Ruby, monkey patching. So I have a question for you all. Is monkey patching is an ultimate hero move, or it's a villain waiting to destroy your app, right? So most of us have been monkey patching in the Ruby, right? So let me be honest. Why do we monkey patch, right? Is it just a deadline that you have to deliver your code today itself, or it's just a gem that you rely on has broke in the production? Or even it's a tiny change that you have made and you think about is what would be probably will go wrong, right? But here's something interesting. This tiny change that you have made can make you even hero or unleash the evil. And to all the Ruby developer who are familiar with the monkey patching, be like about अब भी ठीक करके देता हूँ, right? So here's the interesting part, my favorite thing. So as you can see, someone decided to fix the time zone issue of the class time itself and force the time zone to IST itself, right? But then, wait, suddenly the code breaks. Why? Because the scheduled jobs that were facing has been misfired, the logs are chaos, and wait, what about the international users, right? And the monkey patching will be like, ये भी मेरी गलती है. No. But wait, it's not all time that monkey patching is evil. Here's the favorite part. So think about it's at 2 a.m. and suddenly you observe there is a flow of the logs, and there is some anomaly you have detected, and you found there is a gem that has been broken itself in the prod. And by just fixing or writing this monkey patch, boom, you have been saving the night and for the production itself. So here the monkey patch will be like, भाई ने बोला करने का मतलब करने का, right? Then, so I have a question for you all. Is the monkey patching is a hero or a villain? The answer is it's both. It's about monkey patching is a nuclear power, so we know that with the great power, it comes a great responsibility. So handling the monkey patching and doing it's the responsibility of the developer to handle it carefully. Thank you guys, and here's my profile, so you can join and let's break the Ruby more itself. Thank you.
Thank you, Abhay. It has been a great journey from yesterday to today. We have learned many things, and as things are coming to grinding halt, I must say this is not the end. We are gonna build great products, great things in the next year, and let's meet next year this time. So thank you organizers, thank you all the volunteers, thank you all the attendees for attending RubyConf India 2025. Thank you, and keep coding, keep building great stuff. Thank you.